in the heart of Algiers, during a time of deep cultural transformation, a voice rose above the noise of the city, a voice of elegance, resilience, and pure artistic mastery. This is the story of Fadhela Dziria, the undisputed queen of Hawzi, whose music shaped the very soul of Algeria and whose legacy continues to echo through its streets. She was born Fadhela Madani in 1917, right in the historic Casbah of Algiers. This wasn't just a neighborhood, it was a living, breathing epicenter of culture. Imagine growing up surrounded by the intricate melodies of Andalusian music, the poetic verses of Hawzi, and the raw emotion of Chabi. Music, poetry, and heritage were in the air she breathed, in the stones of the ancient city. It was in this vibrant environment that a young Fadhela discovered her gift. Her voice was special, and her family knew it. They saw the spark of something truly extraordinary and encouraged her to pursue it. However, the path for a female artist in early 20th century Algeria was not an easy one. Society held rigid views about the role of women, and the stage was often seen as an improper place for them. But Fadhela was not one to be silenced or confined by convention. She possessed a quiet determination, a fire that burned for her art. She dedicated herself to studying the foundations of Algerian classical music, delving deep into the complex structures of Hawzi, the rustic charm of Arubi, and the Constantine school of Malouf. She sought out the great masters of the time, figures like Mustafa Nador and Haj Mirizek, who immediately recognized her exceptional potential. They saw in her not just a student, but the future of their tradition. She wasn't just learning notes and scales. She was absorbing the soul of a centuries-old art form, preparing to carry it forward. By the time she was just 20, Fadhela's voice had already become a sensation. She wasn't just another singer, she was a phenomenon. What set her apart was her unique ability to bridge worlds. She could take the refined, almost academic elegance of classical Andalusian music and infuse it with the raw, heartfelt emotion of popular Algerian poetry. It was a fusion that spoke to everyone, from the seasoned connoisseur to the everyday person on the street. Her stage presence was magnetic. When she performed, she commanded the room with a quiet confidence. Dressed in elegant traditional attire, she was the epitome of grace, her movements as fluid and expressive as her voice. She became a fixture in the legendary cafes and grand theatres of Algiers, venues like the Café Malakoff and the Opera of Algiers. This was the golden age of Algerian music, a time of incredible artistic creativity, and Fadhela Dziria was at its very center. Her interpretations of classic Hawzi poems became the definitive versions. When she sang El Menfi, the Exiled, or Hem El Kadi, the Judge's Verdict, she wasn't just performing a song, she was telling a story, weaving a tapestry of longing, love, and life that captivated her audience. These performances didn't just make her famous. They elevated her to the status of a living legend, the voice of a generation. The period in which Fadhela Dziria rose to prominence was one of immense political and social turmoil. Algeria was under French colonial rule, and culture became a powerful, non-violent form of resistance. In this context, Fadhela's music took on a new and profound significance. Her voice became more than just art. It became a symbol of national identity, a declaration of cultural pride. Her songs, filled with the poetry and melodies of Algeria, were a reminder of a rich heritage that could not be erased. They expressed the collective emotions of a people longing for freedom, dignity, and the right to their own identity. Even as political tensions escalated and the struggle for independence intensified, Fadhela remained steadfast in her mission. She continued to perform, her voice a beacon of hope and resilience in difficult times. She also dedicated herself to teaching, ensuring that the precious traditions of Andalusian music were passed down to a new generation. She understood that this music was a vital link to the past and a crucial foundation for the future. In this way, her music became a bridge, connecting generations and preserving a cultural heritage that was under threat. She was not a political figure, but her art was a deeply political act of preservation and affirmation. So, what was the secret to Fadhela Dziria's artistic genius? What made her voice so unforgettable? It was a combination of technical perfection and profound, emotional depth. She had immaculate vocal control, able to execute the most complex ornamentations, the trills and turns known as zengula, with effortless precision. Her voice could be as delicate as a whisper and as powerful as a storm. She had a deep understanding of the intricate Arabic musical modes, or maqamat, allowing her to navigate their emotional landscapes with unparalleled skill. But beyond the technique, she was a master storyteller. She didn't just sing the words of a poem, she inhabited them. She understood the weight and meaning of every line, and she conveyed that understanding to her audience with stunning clarity and passion. While she deeply respected the classical rules of Hawzi, she was not afraid to add her own personal touch, her own emotional interpretation. This is what made her performances feel so alive, so authentic. To this day, musicians and vocalists in Algeria and beyond study her recordings, trying to decipher the magic in her phrasing and the depth of her expression. Her art was a masterclass in how to be both a guardian of tradition and a true innovator. After Algeria gained its independence in 1962, Fadhela Dziria was rightfully celebrated as a national treasure. She had been a voice of cultural resistance, and now she was a symbol of a new independent nation. She was officially recognized as a pillar of Algerian culture. She recorded extensively for the national radio and television, creating an invaluable archive of her work. She performed at state functions and represented Algeria on the international stage, sharing the beauty of her country's musical heritage with the world. Perhaps her most important legacy was the path she cleared for others, especially for women. In a field that had been dominated by men, her success and her unwavering dedication to her craft opened doors for countless young female artists who dreamed of following in her footsteps. She proved that a woman could be a master artist, a cultural leader, and a respected public figure. Fadhela Dziria passed away in 1970, leaving behind a nation in mourning. But her voice was far from silenced. It continues to live on, shining brightly through her timeless recordings. Broadcast on the radio and cherished in the hearts of the millions she touched, Fadhela Dziria was never just a singer. She was a guardian of memory, a symbol of artistic excellence, and one of the most important cultural figures in Algeria's history. Her music transcends time and generations, a powerful reminder that culture is a light that can never be extinguished, a voice that can never truly fade. Her story is the story of Algeria itself, its beauty, its resilience, and its eternally vibrant soul. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into music and history, please like and subscribe for more.